Good evening. I am Suanna Gordon.
And I am Michael Pierre. And together we bring you EmoNews package for July 14, 2026. In the headlines,
National Laboratory upgrades information system to improve patient care.
Grenada invests $2.5 million to upgrade public health facilities.
India hands over new agro-processing facility to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
St. Lucia hosts first ever inclusive carnival event for persons with autism.
And 4 Dominican coaches complete international beach volleyball training.
Details of these and other stories in just a moment. In local news this evening, patients using Dominica's public healthcare system can expect faster laboratory services and more reliable patient care following a major upgrade to the National Medical Laboratory Information System. The laboratory has successfully migrated its information system to a new high-capacity server, a move that strengthens the country's digital health infrastructure and enhances laboratory testing, disease surveillance, and clinical decision-making. Laboratory Superintendent Eric Carbon says that the upgrade replaces an aging server that had reached its operational limits, providing the national laboratory with the capacity needed to meet increasing demands. He explains how the new system will improve services for patients and healthcare providers.
The increased server capacity will eliminate unplanned downtime, improve the turnaround time for test results, and reduce service interruption. These improvements will, for example, reduce the time it takes for clients accessing care at the Accident and Emergency Department to obtain test results. This translates into quicker decision-making and interventions by the medical staff, and better patient care outcomes with client satisfaction. In clinical practice, accurate, timely reporting is very often the difference between targeted intervention, reduced hospital stays, and improved patient recovery. Delayed diagnosis and intervention results in increased hospitalization and prolonged patient recovery. In medicine, time is of the essence, and the improvement in the information management infrastructure at the laboratory contributes to more efficient and responsive systems that ultimately improves the quality of patient care.
Consultant psychiatrist at the Acute Psychiatric Unit, Dr. Nadia Wallis, says the discussion facilitated by the Dominica Council on Aging is both timely and important, as Dominica's growing aging population deserves protection while maintaining their dignity, autonomy, and human rights. Dr. Wallis delivered an informative presentation that provided valuable insights for older adults, their families, and caregivers. She explained how mental capacity in older persons is assessed.
Capacity really is the ability for someone to understand relevant information. But it goes beyond that. It's also the ability to be able to retain that information long enough to make a decision. And thirdly, to weigh the benefits and the risk of that decision. And finally, to be able to communicate that decision. So I want to emphasize here that capacity is decision specific. By this I mean a person's ability to make a decision is assessed for each individual decision. Okay? Also, capacity can fluctuate. And this is one of the reasons why when I do this assessment, I see the person more than once.
The consultant psychiatrist also outlines some of the medical conditions that can affect a person's mental capacity.
If the condition is reversible, the second time at a later date, you may find that that person has capacity. Also, having dementia does not automatically mean that someone lacks capacity. Now, what are some of the conditions that may impair one's capacity? First of all, dementia. And we have vascular dementia and Alzheimer's dementia, and this especially if it is moderate or severe. We also have conditions like delirium, conditions like stroke, if someone has a traumatic brain injury, if somebody is severely depressed, or if somebody has psychosis, in other words, they lose touch in reality.
Dr. Wallace further highlighted the key factors that she assesses when evaluating a patient.
Now, again, I would want to stress here that conditions are either temporary and reversible, while others are progressive. So as a psychiatrist, what do I assess? In my assessment, I ensure that I take a good medical history, and this is important because I would want to know whether the condition, what the person is having, is acute or if it is chronic. In other words, if it's something that recently began or if it's something that started a long time ago. I also want to know whether the symptoms are worsening, whether the symptoms are improving. I will also assess the person's mental state, do a mental status examination of the person, assess their cognition, also assess their functional abilities, and see whether they have good insight and judgment into their condition.
The Dominica Council on Aging says discussions like these are intended to raise awareness of elder abuse and help eradicate it from society. The Alwyn Bowley Foundation recently explored youth involvement in the arts during a thought-provoking panel discussion. Up-and-coming actor, musician, and youth advocate Dylan Regis said that the belief that young people are uninterested in the arts is a misconception. Speaking during the discussion, Regis highlighted the many cultural activities in which young people actively participate. He also referenced scripture to emphasize that an appreciation for the arts should be nurtured from an early age.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows up, he will not depart from it. Now, if you train young people from school, primary school, and there would be a nice facility that the Arawak House of Culture used to be that facility back in the day, but if you had a facility where you could train young people about the culture, educate them on the culture, I would love to know more about the culture and the Kali culture as well. A lot of young people don't know.
The youth advocate pointed to several modern-day influences that he believes are affecting young people's creativity.
This generation of young people are among the most distracted in the past decade, maybe in forever. Things like technology, phones, and that are easily accessible. And there is a lack of reading, lack of discipline. And now we have AI, so you don't even have to read your school notes again. You can just put that in AI and see get a decent enough response. And admittingly, it is affecting the work ethic of the minds of young people today, and it is destroying their mind.
He further stressed that failing to engage young people in meaningful activities such as the arts leaves them vulnerable to negative influences and behaviors.
So when we don't have these provisions for young people, such as a proper facility or persons to help educate the young people, they end up doing what? Drugs, alcohol, guns, violence, and then they both have finding anything wrong to do.
The Youth Development Division continues its effort to engage young people across Dominica. Recently, the division collaborated with the Community Policing Unit of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force to deliver a series of educational sessions at the Goodwill Secondary School as part of its school-based leadership program. The sessions were coordinated by Youth Empowerment Officer Celia Christmas. Topics included governance and decision-making, facilitated by Sergeant David Andrew Jr. and Sergeant Dion Moses. And finally, in local news, as preparations continue for the 2026 World Creole Music Festival, the Discover Dominica Authority, DDA, says regional interest in the event is on the rise. Chief Executive Officer of the Discover Dominica Authority, Mava Williams, says the festival is expected to attract visitors from St. Kitts and Trinidad and Tobago, in addition to the strong turnout traditionally seen from the French territories.
One of the most patronized markets is the French West Indies, Guadeloupe and Martinique. We love our St. Lucians or Antiguans. We have people from St. Martin. But we've also recognized that there's a lot of interest from Trinidad, from St. Kitts, from Grenada, from St. Vincent, from Jamaica. So this year we're going to augment the marketing strategy a bit. So we're going to make sure that we remain relevant in our key markets. But we're looking at going after those potential markets like St. Kitts and like Grenada, and really going there in a big way and actually bringing the World Creole Music Festival to them and actually inviting them to come to our World Creole Music Festival.
Meanwhile, Minister for Tourism, Honorable Dennis Charles Pemberton, says the festival continues to make a significant contribution to Dominica's local economy.
Makeup artists, designers, event planners, content creators, musicians, DJs, and all other businesses benefiting from the festival economy. And if you don't believe me, try booking a makeup artist during the World Creole Festival season. That is why this government has invested and continues to invest millions of dollars in the tourism sector. Because tourism creates jobs, grows businesses, opens doors for our young people, and improves lives. Last year, for the Silver Jubilee of the World Creole Music Festival, we achieved remarkable growth, 48% increase.
Although early bird tickets have already been sold out, Tier 1 season tickets are currently on sale for EC $600. Tickets for the VIP experience will go live on Friday, July 17 at 10 a.m. at dominicafestivals.com.
In regional news, the government of Grenada has signed contracts worth approximately 2.6 million EC dollars to refurbish the Grand Bras Health Center and the New Hampshire Medical Station. The projects, valued at EC $1.9 million and nearly EC $700,000 respectively, will be carried out by local contractor Grenada under the Health Sector Strengthening Project, funded by the Caribbean Development Bank, the European Investment Bank, and the Government of Grenada. Health Minister Philip Telsford says the upgrades will improve access to primary health care by enhancing patient flow, accessibility, privacy, infection prevention, and working conditions for healthcare staff. During construction, services at the Grand Bras Health Center will be relocated to Princess Alice Hospital, while patients of the New Hampshire Medical Station will be served at the Snug Corner Medical Station. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has officially opened a new leafy vegetables and roofed crop processing and packaging facility at Langley Park, providing a major boost to the country's agricultural sector. The facility was handed over by India's High Commissioner, His Excellency Subhash Gupta, to Agriculture Minister Israel Bruce as part of the Republic of India SME Development Project, a $1 million initiative to strengthen food security and expand agro-processing. The project also includes upgrades to agro-processing hubs at La Croix and Lourdes, creating additional opportunities for farmers and agricultural entrepreneurs. Officials say the initiative reflects the strong partnership between India and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and will help advance agricultural development and sustainable economic growth. Finally, in regional news, history was made in St. Lucia on Saturday at Serenity Park in Castries hosted the country's first inclusive carnival-themed event, the Harper Carnival Social. Organized by the Helen Association for Persons with Autism, Harper, under the theme Embracing Uniqueness, Unlocking Potential, the event brought together persons with autism, individuals with disabilities, caregivers, and supporters for a day of celebration and inclusion. Activities included music, dancing, face painting, arts and crafts, and other family-friendly entertainment in an accessible environment. Castries Mayor Geraldine Lendor Gabriel commended the initiative, saying it promotes equity, inclusion, and equal opportunities for all. Organizers add the event marks an important step in raising awareness and fostering greater acceptance of persons with autism and other disabilities in St. Lucia.
In international news, And finally, in international news, at least 15 people have died in landslides triggered by Typhoon Bavi in the southern Philippines as one of the strongest storms in decades moves across East Asia. The powerful storm is expected to bring heavy rain to Taiwan, Japan's southern islands, and southeast China, prompting flight cancellations, school closures, and widespread emergency preparations. In Taiwan, authorities have placed thousands of troops on standby and warned the storm could dump up to 1 meter of rain. Residents across the region have been stocking up on supplies and securing homes and fishing vessels ahead of Bavi's arrival. Meanwhile, rescue efforts continue in the Philippines, where heavy rainfall is expected to persist through the weekend. And that's all for international news. The sporting highlights coming up next.
Coming up on the outside. Tina coming up on the outside. Look.
And in sports news this evening, the High Commission of India, in collaboration with the Honorary Consul General of India, has celebrated the 12th International Day of Yoga in St. Kitts and Nevis under the theme Yoga for Healthy Aging. Governor General Dame Marcella Liebert attended the event, highlighting the importance of yoga in promoting health, well-being, and healthy aging. Acting High Commissioner Manoj Kumar described yoga as a holistic practice that supports physical, mental, and emotional wellness, noting that this year's theme emphasizes its role in preventive health care. Organizers say the celebration reflects the growing popularity of yoga across the Caribbean and its contribution to healthier communities. And finally, in sports news, Dominica continues to strengthen the development of beach volleyball, with 4 local coaches successfulully completing international coaching programs in St. Kitts and Nevis. Zahidu Henry and Omari Hillier have successfully completed the FIVB Beach Volleyball Coaches course, equipping them with advanced technical knowledge to help further develop the sport in Dominica. Meanwhile, Yan Flora and Ray Robinson completed the Advanced Beach Volleyball Coaching Program, held alongside the FIVB course. The program focused on enhancing coaching techniques and expanding the participants' expertise in athlete development. The achievements of all 4 coaches represent another significant milestone in building the technical capacity of beach volleyball in Dominica and supporting the growth of the sport at all levels. The Dominica Amateur Volleyball Association commended the coaches for their dedication to continuous learning and expressed confidence that the knowledge gained will positively impact the development of athletes across the island. The association also extended its appreciation to the Dominica Olympic Committee and the Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Association, ECVA, for their continued support of volleyball development programs here. And that's all the sports for this evening. We'll be sure to bring you details of the very important semi-final World Cup football match, which was held earlier today, in tomorrow's newscast. Stay tuned. The weather report is up next. This has been EmoNightly News Package for July 14, 2026. I am your presenter, Soana Gordon.
And I am Michael Pierre. Do have a pleasant evening.